guys, as you can see, it's getting there. We got a couple crevices and whatnot, a little more sanding to do, but pretty much done with the Bondo. I may just wipe a little bit in that little crevice. I'm gonna hit it with some glazing putty, but the glazing putty is not really meant to fill holes like that little divot right there. You can kind of right there, and a couple at the bottom there. So I think I'm gonna mix up just a little bit more Bondo, fill in those spots, hit it with the DA again, and then hit it with some glazing putty. Or I'll get that ready before I glaze it, then maybe I'll come work this little dog leg section here and get that right. Might as well. You see, there's been a lot of sanding going on, just getting this right. It's amazing how much time goes into, you know, what I'm calling minor body work. But hey, that's how it goes. We're gonna get this car together one step at a time, little by little. And this is turning out to be a fairly nice repair. I'm glad I went this route with it. We'll have to see on the other side. It was in a little worse shape. You know, but whatever, we're gonna get it done. I'm just trying to get this body situated so we can see about putting some color on it, hitting it with some paint. That's it for now. Just a quick little extra mini progress update. I'll come back to you when I get those little touch-ups made, and maybe after I hit it with some glaze putty, then we'll get another small update, so I keep you guys posted. All right, stay tuned. We're not done yet, just getting started. Yeah, guys, we're back. So we last left off talking about, you know, leveling things out a little bit, maybe hitting it with some glaze putty. But as fate would have it, I end up just wiping it with a little bit more Bondo here and there. And, you know, because really the glazing putty is just there to get small imperfections, pinholes and scratches and whatnot. So I'm not trying to use it to fill any gouges or anything like that and push the limits. It's just gonna end up to come back to bite me down the road, or to bubble in the paint or some shit like that in 6 months. So we're trying to do it the right way as much as possible, even though many people will say the right way is pure metal work with no Bondo. But to be honest, they make this stuff for a reason. And you know, every build is different. This is not some kind of turntable show car, trailer queen car that won't be on the road and needs to get all the points it can at the car show. This is a real world car, 30-year-old car, plus, wait, hold on, is that 63? Yeah, well, more than 30 years. You know, you guys do the math. It's an old car, and we're treating it as such. So, you know, but at the same time, we're not trying to take too many shortcuts. We're gonna enjoy this car, and we're doing it the right way from our perspective. So as I said before, you know, I'm no expert, blah, blah, blah. I'm not trying to, you know, say, hey, this is the way it has to be done. So by all means, if you got a better way, you do that for your car. I'm just showing you ways and methods to get similar results and to get myself behind the wheel of that car, enjoying it out on these streets where it belongs, you know. That's what it's all about, putting them back on the road. So that's a quick update. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna save the glaze putty for the final step, and we're gonna get ready now to turn the compressor back on and sand this down. It just needs some light sanding, and we use the DA to get that done quick instead of the hand blocks. We'll use the hand blocks when we get it, you know, almost 100% done, so we can get the final sanding in. And then eventually I'll hit it with some rattle can or spray can primer. Yeah, just to protect it from the moisture. And actually, if all goes well, I hope to be able to do that now, because I believe today and the next couple of days, or this evening and the next couple of days, we're gonna have some potential for rain or some heavy thunderstorms. Because believe it or not, right now, the temperature is like 90 degrees, and it's almost 80% humidity in here. So, that Bondo is kind of absorbent. It'll soak up moisture, and that's bad. You don't want that to happen. So the way you prevent that is to seal it somewhat. So the primer does that job. So again, that's the overall stretch target, is to get this thing final sanded before I go home and get some primer on it. And yeah, you guys will see that. But ultimately, even before primer, I would like to get the glaze putty on there to take care of, like I said, any minor pinholes, imperfections, or scratches that may be there. But it's no big deal. If we run out of time and we still just put it in the primer, we can always just scuff that primer down a little bit and come back and hit it with the glaze putty and re-prime it. Yeah, that's the beauty of it, just being a small section here. So no need to stress it or get you know, too anal with it, so to speak. Right? You ain't get caught up in no, oh, it's gotta be A1 perfect. No, like I said, this is not an A1 perfect specimen. It can be down the road. Maybe I'll take that route. But for now, we're taking it slow, steady, and easy, man. Easy as possible, and achieving excellent results. Yeah. The only thing here in terms of trade-off is longevity. Like, for example, when I say metal work versus this little bit of what we call mud work or bondo work. With the metal work, it's going to last you, 10 plus years, right? Depending on how you store the car and how you maintain and, keep it clean, etc., how you drive it. But in this case, with the bondo, I could get maybe 2 to 6 years, depending on, again, same criteria: how you drive it, how you store it, how you maintain it. So I'm opting for that because the amount of initial upfront effort that it takes to do the metal versus the bondo is quite different. And there we go. That's my cue. Compressor kicked on, so I don't want to try to talk over that. So we'll stop it for here, guys, and let me get to sanding. Yep, Motor City Customs. And I'm out. All right, guys. As you hear the compressor in the background bleeding down, I'm just wrapping up for the day. You see the pile of bondo dust I swept up, but we got a good amount accomplished. But we didn't complete the task today as I was hoping. But at the end of the day, it's no major rush. The dogleg piece is sanding out pretty good. It needs a light coat and a glaze putty and a final sand and some primer. The lower quarter portion here is in pretty good shape, but when I gave it the once over with my hand, I found a couple of low spots, and rather than trying to attack those with the glaze putty, it's best just to go ahead and use the filler. And it happens, there's a lot of filler that's dust now just from wiping it, sanding it. Sometimes we get too aggressive and over sand in a spot and create a low spot, etc. So, hey, luckily it's just a matter of time and money. You add a little more filler until you get it right. So that's where I'm at with it. It's coming along pretty good, and a lot of people would already call it good enough, but the perfectionist in me has got me still working on it. So sometime this week we'll get it done. I loosely say this week because there's gonna be some rain headed my way, and with the rain, the shop is gonna get wet. There's still a residual small murky puddle over there by that cinder block and bucket. But if we get the heavy rain that's expected, it's gonna be a lot wetter in here. And if that happens, then I gotta kind of put things on pause until it's a nice dry spot here to work. So yeah, that's where we're at. I just wanted to be transparent and at least show you guys the latest and greatest. And yeah, it's gonna get done real soon. And even though it didn't get completely finished, I'm still happy with it because it's better than it was yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. So you take your time, you piece it together. In this particular car, there's some goals, objectives, but the timeline is very fluid. I have full control over that since I own this car. I don't have to get too crazy with it and be trying to be done to meet some somebody else's deadline. So that's a good thing. And with that, we should be able to give it our best work because the pressure is a little bit less intense. But okay, that's all for now. I don't want to, talk you guys to death, but just wanted to at the same time show you something. So that's where it's at. The 63 Impala, the red 63 Impala project is in full swing, and before you know it, we'll be painting this car. So stick with us, stay tuned. That's right, Motor City Custom once again doing it for you. Yo, what's up, guys? This is Motor City Customs in the 1963 Impala project. As you can see, we're doing some work on the lower quarter there. We got these products in play. Impala lightweight gold, lightweight filler. As you can see, it's easy to sand, non-sagging, pinhole resistant, and good for direct to metal, aka DTM. Once we finish with that, we're gonna be hitting it with another Impala product, Dolphin Glaze. And this is just my Bondo spreading pad. And just use this bad boy to blow away some of the dust, etc. And we're working with the DA sander. So that's it. We're here working on the 63, and we're gonna be getting this project done little by little. Appreciate you guys being here, watching the progress, and we hope you subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. Motor City Customs, baby. Yo, what's up, YouTube? So this is the latest progress. So we got some more work done on the quarter. We got it sanded flat, but what we ran into is we had a few pinholes and a couple of spots where, it wasn't quite level, and it was a big enough dip to where it didn't make sense to simply try to hit it with the glaze puzzy. So we just mixed up a little more mud and attacked it that way. So it's pretty much in place, drying now, and in short order we'll be able to sand this down, and that should be the final pass with the heavy filler. It's not really heavy, it's actually lightweight filler, but you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna transition from the filler to just the skim coat stuff, or the Dolphin Glaze putty. The consistency is a lot thinner, and it's not meant to fill big holes, just like pinholes and sand and scratches, etc. So we're gonna wipe the entire work area with that, and that will need a light sanding, and then we'll be able to call this done once it passes that test, and you rub it with your hand. You don't feel any high spots, no low spots. You should be in good shape there, where you won't see any waves when you look down the side of the quarter panel. We still will hit it with some guide coat and sand it down even more, etc. But we don't need to do that right now. We're gonna get to that before we paint it. But for the time being, what we wanna do is we wanna seal this up, right? Because this shop is very humid. We have water intrusion issues, and that Bondo will kind of act as a sponge and absorb that moisture, and that's what we don't want. So trying to work quick, and the idea is to get that glaze putty on here and lightly sand that and hit it with the rattle can primer, and then it'll be cool for us to then jump onto the honestly, I should have been doing that lower fender piece at the same time, but I really just need some glaze putty too. So we'll probably do both fenders, and then we'll end with the driver's side lower quarter, because it needs the same work. But aside from that, this car is clean and doesn't need anything else after that except for paint, a little bit of love on the interior, and some mechanical updates. So we'll be jumping back on it, but just wanted to give you the latest update. That's where we're at with the project. Stay tuned, because we got a whole lot more to come, and we want you here for the ride. Motor City Customs, and I am your host, Shawnee C, signing off for today. Bye-bye.